ये ताजों की दुनिया, ये इंसान के दुश्मन समाजों की दुनिया, ये दौलत के भूखे रिवाजों की दुनिया, ये दुनिया अगर मिल भी जाए तो क्या है। हर एक जिस्म घायल, हर एक रूह प्यासी, निगाहों में उलझन, दिलों में उदासी, ये दुनिया है या आलमे बदहवासी, ये दुनिया अगर मिल भी जाए तो क्या है। Written in the uneasy years after independence, renowned Urdu poet Sahir Ludhianvi's these lines question the assumption that material success guarantees fulfillment. When he asks, ये दुनिया अगर मिल भी जाए तो क्या है? He voices a deeper existential doubt. Even if one possessed the entire world, wealth, power, influence, would it truly satisfy us? Perhaps the problem lies not in what we acquire, but in the structure of our longing itself. As life keeps moving from one milestone to the next, with the hope that maybe the next one will bring us happiness and contentment, and perhaps then life will finally settle. But it rarely does. How absurd it is. सब आराम कमाने निकले हैं आराम छोड़कर. We depart in the pursuit of rest by relinquishing rest itself. Very often, the destination does not deliver what we imagined. It can feel as though we have climbed an entire mountain only to discover that the summit is strangely ordinary. And before the realization settles, another peak appears before us. But wait, is there a peak? Is there a final state of fulfillment that completes the human search? Or is the striving itself endless? And if it is endless, why we continue to live a meaningless life? It is precisely at this juncture French philosopher Albert Camus becomes relevant. He wrote The Myth of Sisyphus in 1942, where he confronts if life is ultimately meaningless, should one commit suicide? The essay culminates in the myth of Sisyphus, condemned by gods to push an immense stone up a mountain only for it to descend each time he approaches the summit. Well, the resemblance to contemporary life is difficult to ignore. We invest effort, achieve milestone, and expect stability to follow. However, the stability keeps slipping off. And yet, Camus leaves us with one must imagine Sisyphus happy. Now, the sentence may sound therapeutic, but deep down, it's not. The scandal of the sentence lies in what it refuses to supply. If we cannot imagine Sisyphus happy, then his effort remains meaningless. If the stone inevitably rolls back down, what value does the pushing hold? Isn't life itself a gradual moment towards death? We study, work, build relationships, pursue ambitions, fully aware that nothing we achieve will endure forever. And if there is no final achievement that permanently resolves a condition, what is the point of striving? Repetition without meaning collapses into despair. And yet, Camus insists that we must imagine him happy. However, he never suggests that the stone secretly matters, or that the gods are mistaken, or the eternity will break under persistent. The rock remains pointless. The punishment remains absurd. Nothing changes except the stance of the one who pushes. If we can imagine him happy, then meaning is not governed by achievement, and thus happiness is not dependent on it. But then, where is it? Where do we find meaning? How can we achieve happiness? Camus calls this tension the absurd. the confrontation between our human desire for meaning and a universe that offers no clear answers. Now, instead of escaping this condition through suicide or religion, which he calls philosophical suicide, he proposes that one must accept the absurd and continue living consciously. For Camus, recognizing the absurd leads to three responses: revolt, freedom, and passion. Revolt means refusing to surrender to meaninglessness. Freedom arises when we stop believing in predetermined purposes. And passion means living life intensely in the present. While Camus assumes life as revolt, to continue consciously without appeal, Emil Corian, Roman philosopher, represents the nihilistic view of life. He believed that life is an endless repetition, the same day, same thoughts, same cycles. And this awareness led him toward pessimism. To him, clarity exposed the futility of existence. But Camus argues that absurd is not the repetition, but the expectation of meaning from the repetition is. So when we drop the expectation, effort does not become useless. It becomes an act of conscious defiance. So lucidity can sustain happiness if happiness is stripped of its sentimental meaning. Maria Zambrano, the Spanish philosopher, suggested that tragedy arises when humans demand from the reality which it cannot give. Camus agrees. The absurd is born from that very demand. The only resolution is to withdraw the demand without withdrawing from life. Sisyphus becomes free when he stops asking the mountain to justify itself and climbs it anyway, regardless of the happiness, choosing to live without surrender. Now, one might argue that imagining Sisyphus happy is merely self-deception, a way of making the intolerable tolerable. But Camus insists that revolt does not mean denying reality. If death cancels the meaning, then nothing should feel beautiful even for a moment. But it does. The sunset still moves us even though it fades. A performance still matters even though the curtain falls. A conversation still changes us even though it ends. The temporary nature of something does not erase its value. Sometimes it deepens it. So maybe the purpose of effort is not to defeat death. Maybe the purpose is to live intensely despite it. तो क्या खामोश यूं ही डूब जाने का इरादा है? तो क्या खामोश यूं ही डूब जाने का इरादा है? मगर कैसे भुलाओगे कि सूरज के उजालों से तुम्हारा कोई वादा है? तो फिर अब देखते क्या हो? चलो इन कश्तियों की रस्सियां खोलो, समंदर में उतरते हैं। कहीं तो रोशनी की भी जमीनें होंगी, उन्हें ढूंढते हैं। और अगर हो सके तो ये अंधेरे का समंदर पार करते हैं। और इस कोशिश में जीते हैं तो जीते हैं, और मरते हैं तो मरते हैं।